You two, welcome back to the continuation of part two of the NFL football season preview. So, we're going to continue our discussion of the NFC South. We have already discussed the reigning division champion, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, excuse me there. So, we're going to move on to the second place team from a year ago, and that would be the Atlanta Falcons. And these Falcons, they have been through the ringer ever since they've been marred by that 28-3 blown lead in the Super Bowl many years ago to Tom Brady. They pretty much that's been defining the organization ever since then. So let's go ahead and get started with this team. So they're in the midst of year three of the Raheem Morris regime, which has proven to be quite effective as the last couple of seasons. Last season was not the best, but it did produce some more tangible results, and it looked a little more like a competent football team. And they were very close once again to making the NFC playoffs, but once again, so close, but no cigar. So we look at their depth chart for this season. We are still looking at Michael Penix Jr. being the starter. The question mark is Kirk Cousins. He is still labeled there as the backup, but he denied 10 OTAs, and they're saying he's going to get traded to Pittsburgh as the backup plan for Aaron Rodgers, not going to Pittsburgh and all the other stuff. So for now, I'm going to say it's solidified, no doubts about it. Michael Penix Jr. will be that starter there in Atlanta and starting his second season. Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, the 1-2 running back punch in the backfield there, followed by Kyle Pitts there at the tight end with Drake London, Darnell Mooney, the ex-Chicago Bear, and Ray McCloud, the ex-Pittsburgh Steeler. Those will be those key stars there on the offensive side. On the defensive side, you still have um, Jesse Bates the third there at the strong safety position. You've got Mike Hughes there, the former Kansas City Chief, at the corner position, and AJ Terrell there at the left corner position. No one really. Leonard Floyd there at the linebacker position is a nice addition, but besides that, nothing really key on the defensive side to write home about. All-time records 398, 512, and 6. That is almost a 44% win percentage. They have exactly a 500 record against the New Orleans Saints. They have a winning record against both the other teams in the division, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers edging them by one game in the all-time series and by 14 games against the Carolina Panthers. So, will this be the season that that Atlanta will get back to the playoffs? So let's go and take a look at that schedule. So with their schedule, I believe it's going to be like a narrative similar to last season. So they got off to a very strong start. Last season, they started before week 10. They were 6-3, and they were riding high. We thought this was a team that's going to go back to the playoffs. Of course, that did not happen. They ended up losing. That would be 6 of their last 8, so that was not a good way to end the season. I see the similar narrative coming up once again this season. So their bye week is in week number 5. Before that time, I will have them going 3-1, having wins against Tampa Bay, Minnesota, and a surprise win against Washington in Atlanta. This will be the 6th straight season that Washington and Atlanta have gotten together, which will be interesting. I do have them having to be an upset loser to Carolina in week 3. After the bye week, I have them coming back and winning in the first of the Monday night doubleheader games there against Buffalo, losing to San Francisco, winning against Miami, and winning in New England. Then I see the wheels falling off starting in week 10 when they go to Berlin. They will lose to the Indianapolis Colts, and then after that, they will win 3 of the remaining games. 2 of them being in the division, 1 of them being against Seattle Seahawks. But after that, I see them just falling apart. I think they're going to lose at New Orleans. I know New Orleans is going to stink, but I think New Orleans is going to be trash. But I see them winning one game, and that'll be against the Atlanta Falcons. They'll lose at the Jets because I think the Jets are going to be a much more improved team. They'll lose to Tampa Bay on Thursday night after the short week. They'll lose to the Rams at home on Monday Night Football, and then they will end the season with a win against the New Orleans Saints. Last season they were 8-9. I have them improving by one game, definitely hitting their over mark on 7.5 wins. I have them finishing 9-8. Once again, failing to qualify for the NFC playoffs. But again, you never know with Atlanta. But I think it's going to be a similar narrative. They're going to start off strong, but then they'll fade away after their game in Berlin in week number 10. Primetime games, they do have 2 Monday night games there. One against Buffalo in week 6, one of them against the Rams in week 17. They do have Sunday Night Football week 2 at the Minnesota Vikings, which will be interesting. Of course, their game in Berlin against the Indianapolis Colts will be on NFL Network. and then all the other ones are 4 o'clock or 4:25. Again, I don't understand why they made the 4:25 game at New Orleans the second half of the doubleheader, but that's just me. I guess that's what network officials do, I guess. But a highly questionable game to put there in the 4:25 slot, in my opinion. Alright, so that wraps up my video here on the Atlanta Falcons. So the Falcons are your team. Go ahead and check out this video. Like the video, so comment your thoughts on what I think about everything, and subscribe to the page. We're up to 74 subscribers now, so 74 down and 26 to go to hit my goal of 100. But in the next video, we will discuss the third place team from a season ago. That will be the Carolina Panthers. So until then, this is your man Dylan signing off about the Atlanta Falcons, and I'll see you in the next video.